So when we're doing an expedition, we look specifically at the microbiome of the Benguela upwelling system. Samples is not straightforward. We need access to a boat. We also need a lot of water that we can then filter very quickly. If we take too long to filter our water, those microorganisms will change under the stress of being filtered, and we're not going to get an accurate representation of what's in the water column. So that logistic, as simple as it sounds, is a tricky one to pull off. And thanks to the Terra Foundation, we have adopted a new protocol whereby we can filter enough water, get an accurate representation of what's in the water column, something we've been doing over the past 2 years. In order to process these samples, we must sequence the DNA. First, we can take pictures of them and visualize them, but the really small ones, we must sequence the DNA. Previously, we had to ship our samples abroad because it was more efficient and, most importantly, cheaper to do that. The downside of this is that when we ship samples in a box, we often lose samples on the way. We were shipping our samples to China or to Europe, and we lost a lot of data, very valuable data. So thanks to AtlantECO, we have been developing capacity over the last 9 months, working with local companies to decrease the price per sample of our DNA sequences, and also to identify and create capacity to do this within South Africa. And we were on the Terra Mission Microbiome. We were part of Leg 18, which was the Benguela upwelling topical study. This is a very important region in the world. It's less than 1% of ocean area, yet it produces something like 5% of fish stock. So it's an incredibly productive area. We need to sample many times. It's important to understand the productivity and how the microbiome is reacting to this upwelling, to this productivity. Many of these fish and bigger organisms either die or swim away, but the microbiome stays active, but it changes, and we don't know how. So this is what we're trying to investigate using Mission Microbiome.